What's up, guys? Jason up in the car, in the cold, in the winter, at 8:30 in the morning, which is really 7:30 in the morning because we just did this ridiculous concept of daylight savings time. For the farmers. We're headed to a toy show. We're headed to a toy show for the first time. Let's get Norman here now. For the first time since well before pre-COVID, way before pre-COVID. We're going to the local toy show. I'm recording all of this on the phone, and I don't even know if you're going to see this. If you don't see it, I'm just talking to myself. And the people next to me in the other car are thinking I'm insane. Or I'm singing to, Tiffany or something. Belinda Carlisle. Anyway, I'm recording on the phone, which I never do. I never do because I can't get the videos off my phone. Yeah, I know. It seems that every technological advancement that I buy or get behind or say, I'll use that, doesn't work for me. Now, I know every YouTuber on the planet, and that's what I am officially. I am a YouTuber, an influencer, a social media star. I am that. But whenever I try to use my phone to capture video of any kind, I can't get it off my phone onto the laptop. Right? I use a cord thing, I hook it up to the phone. I know what I'm supposed to do. The laptop is not old. It's like 3 or 4 years old. And everybody tells me, well, use this not software, but program like media player or super duper media or super duper wonderful media player. No, none of them work. None of them work. I can never get the videos off the phone. I can't even get photos off the phone for the most part. So I'm like, this is so stupid. I don't know. So maybe if I ever upgrade a phone, which I won't, because I'm not paying, $1,400 for another iPhone that does the exact same thing, just has a slightly bigger screen. I still have to walk around with a camera in my hand, which is fine. But I get all weird doing that. I don't like to do it. I don't like people looking at me and making weird faces at the camera as I walk by, or like, "What's up?" Shut up. So I don't do that. I don't like to do that. But I'm so grumpy this morning. I don't know why. All right, so we're gonna go to the show. I'm not really in the market for anything. Maybe some G.I. Joes. G.I. Joe Ron and his friend are bringing, a plethora of Joes. So, I can always grab those. And that's it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the first toy show in like 3 years goes. And I'm driving there now. So that's it. Okay, goodbye.
Jason, how you doing,
What's
man?
up, buddy? How are you?
Good.
Where's my main man? Where is he? He's over there working. Let's see him. Look at him in action. That's G.I. Joe Ron there in action.
Oh man, I bought some stuff.
Did you really? What do you got for me?
Check those VHS over there.
Oh, we got VHS for me? Oh, yeah.
All wrestling.
Is it all?
All three of those.
Great. Go back around and sneak up on Gia. He doesn't know we're here yet. Did you bring any deals for me today?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Good to see you, man.
I got you.
What are you coming to buy today?
I'm coming to buy everything you got.
Everything?
So let's take a look.
Get out your checkbook.
All right.
Oh, really? For $65. You got this price too high. I mean, let's go.
All right, so that's that. Literally about 50 minutes there. Not a lot of time spent at the toy show. Got to see G.I. Joe Ron. Got to pick up a few smaller items, and stuff that means something to me. So that's okay. The stuff I got, I'm happy with. But not a lot of money spent. Maybe $40, and I remember 5 years ago or so, I would walk out of here and people would be giving me, packing boxes, packing boxes to bring, all my stuff back to the car and drop it off. But, it's my room is full. It's a different time. And I'm happy that the collection is, there's not a lot of stuff out there for me to go over the top with and spend money with. Like, somebody had a carded Rambo figure. Okay, so back in the day, I probably would have been happy about that, jumped on that, but I don't need it now. I have the loose ones, and I don't have any room for them. So, G.I. Joe Ron had Nerf Golf, which is honestly it's on a mini Grail list, but my Nerf Pool and my Nerf Ping Pong are put away in sump pump room. So like, I don't want to buy Nerf Golf and then, keep it on the main floor for a little while and then put it in the sump pump room. I'm not going to do that. So, that's why I need a house. I need a house badly. And speaking of that, let's go. All right. Well, as I used to do, back in the old, the toy show days, I'd stop for breakfast. Now, usually I would stop at a diner and have a good old time with that, but it's running late. It's 10:30. The boy and I have our bowling league in an hour, so I got to get home. But I stopped and got a Taco Bell breakfast burrito. Now listen, breakfast burritos I don't like, because I don't like burrito shells. I don't like corn well, I do like corn tortillas. I don't like flour tortillas. So I don't get a lot of breakfast burritos or burritos at all. But Taco Bell's, super grande, whatever, burrito is good. So it's hot because they just pulled it off the grill. So let's get at it. This is enough. Yeah. It could use some sauce. I don't get sauce in the car. I'll get it all over the brand new truck. Which, by the way, if I could give this thing back, I would. I paid $96 this morning to fill it up. That's ridiculous. Mountain Dew, no ice. Comes out of the machine ice cold, guys. You don't need ice. Don't get a 30 or soda. No. You want all of your soda so that you can have all of your diabetes. I'm gonna eat this. See? I dropped an egg. I dropped an egg in my car. You know what that's gonna smell like? Oh my God. Hello, everybody. We are back from the toy show. Hope you enjoyed the very unprofessional footage. The I'm embarrassed to be holding a camera in front of my face footage. Got to see G.I. Joe Ron and his boy Jason at his booth. Nice to see them. Not a lot of people, not a lot of vendors. Smaller show, like I said in the car. And also, like I said in the car, it's kind of weird to go to the shows and not leave with $300, $400, $500 worth of toys. That's when this room first got started. I would do that. So, it's weird. I'm not. Collecting is not coming to an end by any means, but it's strange to go and not see. Not want to buy everything. But that's okay, because that means the stuff that I do buy, means stuff to me. So, and it's smaller and it's cheaper, and that's good. All right. There was also the San Francisco Toy Maker wrestling figures. I like them. The WCW ones that are slightly smaller than LJNs, harder than LJNs. Those figures used to be, and they're my famous $5 dump bin figures, right? The bins that are under the toy, the bins that are under the tables at the toy booths. That's where the Crypt Keeper figures, or the Tales from the Crypt Keeper figures are. That's where the Star Trek figures are. The 90s Batman figures that are like, $1 a piece. They're all in there. And that's where those WCW Toy Maker figures used to be. And honestly, it's where they should be. And I know everything goes up and all that. I get it. Those figures are ridiculously priced now. Those are all $5, $7 figures. So I stopped at a table actually across from G.I. Joe Ron. And the guy had, I was promising, because he had like a cardboard box lid flipped upside down with like a couple of beat up LJNs and a Jerry Sags Nasty Boy figure from Toy Makers. And I don't have him. I have Brian Knobs, right? Yeah, I have Brian Knobs. So that would have been cool. But so he's mixed. He's on the floor, and he's mixed in with some beat up LJNs. So I'm like, oh, and he's really nice. He's a nice looking figure. There's for some reason those figures have paint all over them, and you can't get that paint off. It's in there. So like I grabbed the figure, and the guy's nowhere to be found. Like he's not at his booth, and I'm like waiting, holding him there and waiting for the guy to come back around. He comes around like, yeah, this is the Universal. How much is this? You kind of just wave it at the guy. $25. And I'm like, and I just set it back down and walk away, with my head down, shaking my head. Just, what are we doing, guys? That, $25, no, $7. Anyway, okay, okay time, good time, great to see G.I. Joe Ron and his friends at his booth, and always great to see them. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll attend toy shows in the future. It was weird being elbow to elbow with people. That was a little weird feeling. Nobody wearing a mask. 10% people wearing a mask. And I'm not COVID freaky. Don't worry about that. But a lot of people elbow to elbow. Excuse me. That's if COVID has taught me anything, it's I don't want to be that close to people, mouth breathing all over me. So anyway, I don't know if I'll go to any more toy shows. I don't need anything, and I don't know. I can get everything, I guess, off of eBay. And from flea markets. I will continue to go to flea markets. Absolutely. I don't think that'll ever die. But I don't know about the toy shows anymore. It's I don't know. I don't know. All right, so let's see what I got. Very basic stuff, but I haven't done a pickups show in a while, but very basic. I do have a collection of G.I. Joe comics that I never really show you guys or talk about. Actually, I've got some here that I haven't put with my collection yet. I didn't get doubles. Okay, that's good. And there's comic boxes at all these toy shows. Comic boxes aplenty. And, you got to thumb through them. And, luckily for me, G.I. Joe comics are pretty cheap. So I have a list on my phone, and there's two that I didn't have. And so I got these for $3 each. No big deal. I did not ask for any deals on any of these stuff. I mean, I just wasn't in the mood to be like, would you do 5 on these? You know, like, who cares? So, $3 each for issue 26 and issue 27, right? So that's good. That's lovely. Now, I have decided, I have finally come to terms with the fact that there is no Sergeant Slaughter, Hasbro, LJN wrestling figures ads in these comic books. They are from the G.I. Joe magazine. There was a G.I. Joe magazine that was put out, and that had the LJN ad. So I do want to get that someday. I originally started collecting the comics thinking that I was going to get that ad, and then it's not from the comic. So I've got, you know, a big old stack of comics up there that I don't read. So we'll just add 2 more to the list that I don't read. That's that. And, you know, TV guides, sure, absolutely. Again, when they're $3 each, I'm going to get some. Because TV guides on eBay, nobody's doing auctions anymore. Everybody is just doing buy it now with whatever weirdo price that they came up with in their heads. And so most TV guides on the Bay now are like $12.99, buy it now. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So these are $3 each, and that's what I'll do. So I went through his bin. So I got a TV guide, and these are all local, which is fun. This is Camden, New York, and Olean, New York, which is like, oh no, this is Oswego. So Oswego and Camden, which are all like 2-3 hours away from me. So they still get, let's see, do they get the local affiliates? No, they get, no Rochester, Syracuse, Utica, Watertown. No Rochester channels in Camden. But do we have any Rochester channels in Oswego? Probably not. No, it doesn't look like it. 2 and 3, channel 2, channel 3. I know this is not interesting to you, but no. But that's okay. They'll stink. Moldy, mildewy. But anyway, 3 TV guides from semi-local. This is from, this one is February 26, 1983. I actually do like looking at the 1983 TV guides because that's like right at the beginning of cable catching on. So you get some pretty cool stuff. And we've got one from 1987. This is December, end of December into January 1987. That one's cool. This one I think has a great ad in here. I think it's this one. No, it's this one with the cause on it. But look at the ad. Look at that. The Rockin' Wrestling Saturday Spectacular, which announced the cartoons that were coming. Special sneak previews of new Saturday morning cartoons. Oh yeah, that's a pretty cool little ad there. None of these have a Saturday Night's Main Event in it. This is from September, first week in September 1985. So we got 85, 87, and 83 TV guides. No Saturday Night's Main Events. That's okay. Finally, we did add a G.I. Joe figure. That's why I'm sitting in front of the Joes. You haven't seen that in a while. But we did add a figure, thanks to G.I. Joe Ron's partner at his table. And for $35, which is whatever, I don't know if that's good or not, I have a complete Wetsuit with file card. All right. So, for the first time in a very long time, we can grab the marker, we can get in the book, and we can cross off Wetsuit. We finally have a figure. Finally, we have a G.I. Joe figure. Wetsuit is off the list. Now, there is another Wetsuit that comes from the Special Missions Brazil set. But that's okay. Right now we have Wetsuit, a very yeah, I could probably change it. It's okay. It's fine. We have a complete Wetsuit. So we're gonna complete him up there with his, I don't know, his stuff and his hose and his flippers, right? And his light. Yeah, we'll put the light on his arm or something. Make it look, maybe we'll put the light in his hand. Make it look good. There we go. Put the light in his hand and get the, where's my stands? I don't have any of my stands. We need to make this official. There we go. Let's officially welcome him to the family. I have already given him a spot on the shelf. I just dropped his backpack. Man, I don't know. I haven't done this in so long. I'm nervous. Let's add Wetsuit to the G.I. Joe stand. Put his backpack in again. Yeah, I might have to change the O-ring. It's a little floppy on the stand. That's okay. Boom. Wetsuit. Wetsuit. Part of the team. Ugh. Sorry about this view. Alright. Wetsuit is hanging out next to Zorana. Let's get him right. Yeah, we're definitely going to change the O-ring on Wetsuit. He's a little floppy, especially when he's trying to stand. That's okay. He's joined the family. Wetsuit is part of the team. We got all of his accessories right here. We'll put those behind him. Got another accessory card just to throw in the box. And we also got a 1987 figure for $5. And I want to see if he's complete. I'm not going to tell you who he is because we don't talk about Bruno. And we don't talk about 1987 until it's 1987. But I'm going to check to see if he's complete. But he was only $5. And he's a driver. Oh yeah, run around upstairs, children. Run, free. Let's see. Where is he? Come on. Oh, no, he's missing... He's missing a little stun gun. A tiny little stun gun. And that'll give it away if you know who he is. I will not go out of my way to get that. I'll probably look for it. But my 1987 figure for $5 is only missing one tiny little accessory. So that's okay. All in all, fun little day. Drive over to the toy show. What the heck? And then realize that I might not go to toy shows anymore. At least the one locally. I don't know. Unless I get into like a big collection, like if I just start collecting masks or you know, I don't know. Times have changed. I used to spend all day at these toy shows back in the day, like flipping through any Nintendo games that I saw. I would bring my Nintendo game list. I would just grab I'd grab a random Rambo figure. I'd grab some muscle figures. I would grab, I'd go through the McDonald's toy boxes, and I'd probably come home with a Funko Pop or two. But the room is, you know, running out of space. They had a Nerf golf. G.I. Joe Ron had a Nerf golf game, and I love that game. And I think I told you in the car, but I have no place to put it. No place. All my other Nerf stuff is back there. So that's that. Toy show was fun, and yeah, nice to see G.I. Joe Ron and Jason and the rest of the crew. I don't think there was any more of the crew, but I'm rambling now, so I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you had fun. Goodbye. Good night. Now. Good night.